It's still here, but not for long. Artist Ian Gaudreau tells me he's sad it's come to this point, but after calls from Mayor Smiley and other local leaders to remove the mural, it felt like only a matter of time before this happened.
Providence, Rhode Island, public pressure from the leftist mayor forcing the nearly finished mural for slain 23-year-old Iryna Zarutska to be taken down. We all remember this video, right? Iryna brutally stabbed to death on a Charlotte, North Carolina light rail by a deranged repeat offender that was sitting right behind her. He gets up and just plunges a knife into her neck. Horrifying. In front of all those other people. In a city where it became fashionable to let criminals just roam free was why there was so much outrage. This never should have happened. Charlotte, North Carolina. Up to the north 500 miles, Providence's gay liberal mayor Brett Smiley calling a mural in his city misguided and divisive. Why? Well, because it's a reminder of the horrific policies that he subscribes to. He wants to make your cities terrible and dangerous and liberal and woke. But when it's politically beneficial to his cause, Smiley actually loves divisive political displays. Here he is right here, masked up honoring George Floyd and Black Lives Matter in 2020. He did this several times. He helped push residents in his city to riot in his own city. George Floyd has about 2,700 murals and statues to himself worldwide, a drug-addicted criminal who admitted to using too many drugs before dying after violently resisting arrest. A man who once robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint by putting the gun to her belly. Nothing divisive about that. Mayor Smiley loves that. He's not divisive, but Iryna is. The artist of that mural, Ian Gaudreau, had this to say about it being taken down.
A lot of people voiced their frustrations, and voices were heard, and the work is coming down as a reaction to that. And I want everybody to know that my intentions with the mural was to lower the temperature. All of this political vitriol being kicked up has removed Iryna's humanity from her story.
How dangerous is that? That the politics have turned so you can't even honor a woman that was killed. Rhode Island Republican State Senator Jessica de la Cruz joins us now. Mark Robinson is the former lieutenant governor of North Carolina, where Iryna was killed, and good to have you both here. Jessica, I want to start with you. Your reaction to what is happening in your city.
It's disheartening. It's outrageous. I feel it's obviously an overreach, intimidating a business owner to take down a mural. You know, what I find so ironic is that just a few days prior, the city had a No Kings protest. And I had mentioned that it was very much acting like a king, Mayor Smiley, and almost as an edict. This mural needs to come down. It's an intimidation of this business owner and the muralist, and I'm very disappointed with the mayor.
It's beyond disappointing, Mark, and you're from North Carolina, where in Charlotte the ridiculous assault that they've had on law and order and on the justice system led to this death. What's your reaction?
You know, when I first heard this, it just made perfect sense to me, because this is brought to you by the party that loves diversity until diversity includes the people that they despise. And then all of a sudden they're against diversity. I'd also like to point out the fact that in Charlotte, Charlotte is in Mecklenburg County, and just recently the sheriff of Mecklenburg County admitted under oath that he does not know what the three branches of government are or which branch he serves under. So it's just indicative of this party to disregard law and order, disregard law-abiding citizens, and do absolutely ridiculous things when they get control. And this is just another terrible example of this. An innocent 23-year-old woman who was viciously stabbed, a woman from a war-torn country, viciously stabbed, just riding the train. And for some reason, they think of her as divisive. It's not her that's divisive; it's their policies that are divisive, right, that are destroying our cities.
And Jessica, there was no racial reaction to this. I mean, here's what I think is happening: they're pretending that you can't memorialize this young woman because a black man killed her, and that there's some racial component to that that's being explicitly brought up here in a negative manner. Nobody is saying that. What we're saying is that he was a criminal. He was a criminal that nobody in that city wanted to put in jail because they're tap dancing around the issue of race. And an obvious problem that we have, which is that we have a lot of inner city black crime. And this was a black criminal in an inner city. That's not the point, though. The point of it is that you got to throw people in jail. And the criticism is of people with the ideology of the mayor. It's not about race here. It's about their ideology let this happen, and they don't want to hear it from us. They don't want a mural up on the side of a bar that reminds people that the idiots that are in charge of your city are allowing this to happen all day long because they're so terrified of being viewed as racially insensitive.
Well, and I would add that it's not a vulgar mural. It's not explicit in any way. It's simply a face. It's simply a portrait of a young woman that lost her life to policies by Democrats allowing individuals to get off on sentences, lesser sentences, or not even being fully, charged for their crimes. And so, what is the problem? As you said, this is not a controversial issue. This is just memorializing the life of a young woman who I would also point out, Democrats will talk a lot about Ukraine. We need to support Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. But when a Ukrainian immigrant comes to the United States, is murdered senselessly for no reason at all, God forbid we honor a Ukrainian at that point.
And Mark, just to finish it off, they're terrified of hearing about their own policies. They don't want to hear it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's the main reason they want the mural down. They want the mural down because people will look at that face and they'll ask who it is. And when they hear the story, they'll realize that the policies that these people are pushing are not only destroying cities, but they're destroying lives.
It's a living reminder on the side of a building that they don't like. Good to have you both on. Jessica De La Cruz and Mark Robinson, good to have you guys. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.